Could the New York Giants fire Brian Daboll but keep Joe Schoen? Paul Schwartz of the New York Post hinted that may be what John Mara wants to do. And here we go again. Before we dive into that and I give you my opinion on the clown show that the New York Giants would be if they did that, I want to hear from you. What do you think the Giants should do? Should they keep Schoen and Daboll? Type 1. Should they fire Schoen and Daboll? Type 2. Should they keep Daboll, fire Schoen? Type 3. Or should they keep Schoen and fire Daboll? Type 4. Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Video number 2 of the day. That's why you subscribe. So if you're not subscribed, change it. Paul Schwartz of the New York Post wrote an article this week hinting that John Mara may want to fire Brian Daboll but keep Joe Schoen as the general manager. And this goes pretty much against everything that I've wanted to see the New York Giants do heading into the 2025 offseason. But I'll read you the quote that Paul said. He says, quote, "It could be that Schoen stays and Mara informs him a change needs to be made with the head coach. That would be a blow professionally and personally to Schoen. But as Mara said, when they were brought in, Schoen and Daboll are not a package deal. A coach and a general manager cannot be so intertwined that it is either both of them or neither of them." And I'm just going to come out and say it. John Mara, please, I am begging you. I can speak for a lot of people here. Stop making football decisions. The Giants were in the spot that they were at before you hired Brian Daboll and before you hired Joe Schoen because you were so involved in football decisions. That's what got us into this mess. What's not going to get us out of this mess is if you go back and start making football decisions again. I mean, let's just keep it a buck here. Firing Brian Daboll and keeping Joe Schoen is actually a joke. Firing one and keeping the other, no matter which way you mismatch it, is a joke. They either both stay or they either both go. But when you decide to split them up, you are creating a situation that is not going to yield success, especially for the New York Giants, because we've seen this song and we have done this dance time and time again. I wanted to pull this tweet up from NYG Daily. Go give him a follow over on Twitter. They really summarized exactly how I felt. Let's go back to 2015, where Jerry Reese, the general manager, he stayed. He did not get fired when he probably should have. But they let Tom Coughlin go, which they have not recovered from. What happened then? John Mara then led the head coach search, and they were blessed enough to hire Benny McAdoo. Reese then recklessly spent money in free agency, and it fell apart in 2017. What about in 2019? When Dave Gettleman stayed, but they fired Pat Shurmur. They should have fired both. John Mara again led the head coach search, and they hired Joe Judge. What a joke. Who never saw eye to eye with Dave Gettleman. Gettleman then recklessly spent money in free agency to save his job. And then in 2021, it all fell apart. And I want to use a quote from Joe Schoen, just like they did in this tweet. The best way to predict the future is by looking at the past. And you've got 2 examples of that not working, where you fired the head coach and kept the general manager. There is a reason that bad organizations stay bad, because they keep on doing dumb things. And it would be dumb to split up the Buffalo duo. You either keep them both or you fire them both. Because even if you want to keep Brian Daboll and you want to fire Joe Schoen, what general manager is going to want to be here if you're penciling him into a head coach he has to work with? Also this, what head coach is taking the New York Giants job knowing the general manager is on the hot seat? Because if the Giants select a rookie quarterback, which they are going to do, and let's say, which probably will happen, the Giants won't be that good in 2025, if you thought the fire Joe Schoen seat was hot right now, it is going to be 10 times hotter next season if the Giants struggle and that rookie QB does not find his footing early on. And we just saw this unfold at defensive coordinator for the Giants 4 months ago. You couldn't get along with Wink Martindale, so he left, goes to coach in the Big Ten. Shout out to him, beat Ohio State. And then you got to go to your fourth defensive coordinator on your list because no D coordinator wanted to come to the Giants because they knew that Brian Daboll was potentially one more bad season away from being fired, which means that the D coordinator would have been fired after just 1 year. It's very simple. You keep both or you fire both. You have Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll stay, or you get them the first flight out of town and you don't employ them anymore. It's really not that hard to understand. They both are a part of the problem. I do think Joe Schoen is a bigger part of the problem, but you know what? The ship, they're going to go down together. I got more thoughts about this around the corner and what I would do, which you probably already know, but don't miss a thing this offseason. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to put out free, entertaining, informing, videos every single day, multiple videos every single day. So if you love the Giants and you bleed Big Blue, subscribe to the channel. Coming up next, what happens if one stays? Or what happens if both stay? We got to talk about it. That's around the corner. First, though, I got to give a major shout out to our proud sponsor, Z Biotics. When you use that promo code ChatSports, you're going to get 15% off your first order. Today's sponsor is Z Biotics. Anyone who may not bounce back after a night of drinking as well as they used to should listen up. Let's face it, when going out, I have to make a choice. I can either have a great night or a great next day. That is until I found Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol. Pre-Alcohol is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to drink this probiotic before drinking alcohol, drink responsibly, and get a good night's sleep to feel your best tomorrow. So stay in the loop and go to zbiotics.com/chatsports or scan the QR code on the screen right now to get 15% off your first order when you use code ChatSports at checkout. From Thanksgiving feast to New Year's Eve celebrations, this holiday season is packed with events, but don't let the festivities leave you feeling less than merry. Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic can help you savor the night and seize the next day. Remember, head to zbiotics.com/chatsports and use the promo code ChatSports at checkout for 15% off. Thank you, Z-Biotics, for sponsoring this episode and our good times. Alrighty. What happens if the Giants, let's say, keep Joe Schoen and they fire Brian Daboll, or they keep Brian Daboll, or whatever they do? Let's start with this. They're going to keep them both. Let's say that happens. If you do keep them both, if you are still going to employ Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll as your head coach, you better not have them on the hot seat in 2025. They should be safe in 2025 and guaranteed to be the head coach and GM duo in 2026. Because the last thing you need to do to ruin a rookie quarterback is fire the GM and the head coach that they worked with their entire rookie year and making them enter the quarterback their second year in the NFL, learning a new playbook, working with a new offensive coordinator, and working with a second GM and a second head coach. You know who does that? Loser franchises like the Chicago Bears. They have drafted 3 quarterbacks over the last 7 years. And every time after that rookie quarterback's first year, what did they do? They fired the coach. And you know what? Mitch Trubisky, he was scarred because of it. Justin Fields, he was scarred because of it. And now Caleb Williams is looking so far in his rookie year as maybe the 4th best quarterback that was selected in the 2024 class. You need stability around a rookie quarterback, not instability. So if you're going to keep them, you better keep them for the next couple of years and let them run the course with the rookie quarterback that they select. But that just shouldn't happen. It's the perfect time to hit the reset button. You haven't won a game at home this year. You're about to go 0-9 at home this year. You're going to end the season on a 12-game losing streak. In year 3 of a head coach and GM, you should not be picking first in the NFL draft. We should be seeing results that go up, not results that go down every year, like making the playoffs and winning a playoff game, then winning 6 games, and then winning 2 games. You should see progress, not a decline in results. It's a perfect time to reset. Top 2 pick. $65 million in cap space and no pressure to win in 2025. Yes, you want to win. But if you tell the fan base we're starting a new era, we're opening a new book, and we're putting some new ink on those pages with a new GM, a new head coach, and a brand new quarterback, you will have no pressure from the fan base to deliver big-time results on Sundays in 2025. The fan base will understand. Also, with Joe Schoen, he did a good job of getting the cap in a good spot. Hats off to him. Probably the best thing he's done. And it also shows the Giants have a clean salary cap sheet going forward past the 2025 offseason, which opens up the opportunity for Joe Schoen to spend recklessly in 2025 free agency to save his job. And that is the last thing that this organization needs, because we saw Jerry Reese do that, and we saw Dave Gettleman do that, and that is why we are in the mess that we are right now. I want a GM that is going to make decisions that are best for the New York Giants now and in the future. I don't want a general manager that is going to make moves to save their job. That's what Jerry Reese did. That's what Dave Gettleman did. And if you don't think that Joe Schoen is going to enter free agency with $65 million and a clean cap sheet going forward with bags to spend, you're just wrong, because he's going to try to save his job. We've all seen this song and dance a couple of times. I've just lost all faith in Joe Schoen. I don't know how anyone can have faith in him at this point. He gave Daniel Jones $92 million. I thought it was the right decision to let Saquon Barkley leave, but I didn't think it was the right decision to let Saquon Barkley leave for nothing, or let Xavier McKinney leave for nothing. He just has way too many misses and not enough hits. And you're telling me he's going to turn this thing around? I don't know. Look, I do still think, and there is still a part of me that believes that Brian Daboll can be a good head coach, that he is a smart offensive mind. And I do like the idea of Brian Daboll potentially working with a young rookie quarterback. But it's the NFL. It's a results-based business. And you got to earn the job to keep the job. And I haven't seen anything over the last 2 years that says Brian Daboll has earned the right to be the head coach of the New York Football Giants in the 2025 NFL season. So I want to ask you this question one more time. What do you think? I've shared my opinion. We've shown you some data, and we've talked through it. 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you want to see John Mara do? And make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. IG, same handle over there. Give me a follow, and let's talk some more ball.